Picture this. It's a typical day here in sunny South Florida. You are walking on the beach, stepping on warm sand, and looking over the crystal clear water. You catch a whiff of the ocean breeze, and it smells both salty and refreshing. But what if you came back the next day and instead of seeing clear water, you saw warning signs and found out that the water is no longer safe to swim in because it contains toxins that causes breathing difficulties to humans? Well, algae blooms are a major issue in Florida, and it causes for a multitude of effects which impacts the environment, animal health, and human health as well. It first starts off when elevated levels of phosphorus are released into the water. These high concentrations of phosphorus all come from human-related activities like fertilizer runoff from agricultural practices. When too much phosphorus enters aquatic systems, it triggers algae blooms, where algae grow at an uncontrollable rate and cover the surface of waters. Because of this, scientists have been developing carbon absorbents, which are an inexpensive material that removes high quantities of phosphorus in a short amount of time. The main limitation with this method is that it can only prevent future algae blooms and does nothing about algae that is already in our water. If we think about it, just because we remove phosphorus from our water, it doesn't alleviate the fact that we already have large amounts of algae in our water from previous algae blooms. But what if I told you that we could use the problem itself and transform it into a solution? How do we do this? Well, through an industrial ecology approach, I'm working on taking waste or something with no use and turning it into a resource with purpose. When algae blooms occur, I harvest the algae and synthesize them into novel carbon absorbents. I found that these algae derived absorbents are able to remove 99% of phosphorus, and it actually removes phosphorus at concentrations 10 times higher than what is naturally found in the environment. So, what does this tell us for the future of algae blooms? Well, currently, the United States spends over $1 billion to prevent and treat algae blooms. This includes healthcare costs for algae related illness and beach cleanup activities. My method provides a new and cost effective solution to treat algae blooms by using freely available algae from previous blooms. Unlike commercially available absorbents, this absorbent can be adopted by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. This is because it is the only absorbent out there that addresses issues created from previous algae blooms and can also prevent algae blooms from occurring in the future. In the research world, we are typically encouraged to eliminate the problem, but who would have thought that the answers to some of our questions could be found within the problem itself?